Hi, I'm Rachel, and welcome to my channel, La Brigalouse, where I share tips, techniques, and career advice from over 25 years working as a costume craftsperson. It's that time of year, midwinter, when a lot of us begin to consider summer plans, seasonal jobs, vacations, and so forth.
Many performers and backstage folks start looking into summer theaters, cruise line shows, and theme park opportunities.
These kinds of jobs can be incredible creative experiences and a chance to make professional connections, form friendships with colleagues, and learn on the job. They can also be places where employees are treated with disregard, subjected to unsafe work conditions, or expected to put in abusively long shifts, often for rock bottom wages.
But how can you know what a gig will be like until you're contractually obligated and working on it?
I've consulted with my colleagues in the advocacy organization Costume Professionals for Wage Equity to compile a list of red flags to watch for in job postings on boards like ArtSearch, OffStageJobs.com, and Playbill Classifieds, all linked in the description to this video. These caveats apply specifically to summer theater jobs, but the tactics are used by abusive workplaces in other fields and disciplines as well. These potentially troubling signals fall into two categories: language and circumstances. Let's start with language. How the job posting is written can be your first hint that the position is not the dream job opportunity it purports to be. Emotional language is the most frequently deployed tactic in job postings from unethical employers.
Some examples are referring to the company as a family or describing the ideal candidate as passionate. This kind of wording is a clumsy sales pitch at best.
At worst, they're hoping to prey on young artists by appealing to their self image, aspirations, or feelings of alienation. Hyperbolic language is also a signal of a potential unscrupulous employer. When the ad refers to potential employees as rock stars, magicians, or superheroes, be skeptical, unless it's literally a magic show in Las Vegas or the Marvel Universe live tour. When an ad uses the phrase as needed, such as willingness to work evenings and weekends as needed, assume that might mean you will be expected to work most evenings and weekends. If the job still appeals to you, apply, but make a mental note to ask in the interview.
How frequently are those extra hours needed? Are you paid overtime?
The phrase must have a good sense of humor or anything to do with resilience is usually code for an abusive supervisor or company culture.
Expect overwork, underpayment, disrespect, or at worst, bullying.
A job description shouldn't require you to work in multiple departments across specialties. The smaller the theater, the more often backstage workers function as generalists, with hybrid positions like stitcher slash wardrobe crew or carpenter slash run crew. But if, for example, you'll be expected to make the costumes and hang the lighting instruments, that's a theater camp pretending to be a professional company. Now let's look at some questionable circumstances. Consider what other information you might infer about a theater from factors beyond just the text of a single job listing.
A company that posts ads to hire absolutely every position on their staff has an employee retention problem.
Especially if they're doing so every season. Their yearly turnover in staff is probably because they suck to work for. It's also problematic when they advertise for both paid positions and volunteers in the same ad. Potential volunteers aren't scrolling industry job boards. You won't get a fair wage from that employer. Does a company consider an entire job group an internship or apprenticeship? An example is a theater that classifies all stitchers and carpenters as apprentices. These are jobs in their own right, and labeling them as apprentices or interns is a device to pay minimum wage or not at all. And let's talk about pay. Some summer jobs pay an hourly wage, and others pay a stipend, which is a flat fee for the duration of a contract. Beware of stipends.
It's easy to view a lump sum figure and think it's decent pay until you do the math for the hourly wage.
When you interview for stipend pay postings, always ask how many hours are expected. There should be pay parity across departments. A costume cutter should make the same hourly wage as a carpenter. Many summer jobs include housing as part of the compensation.
You need to know more information about that housing before you can decide if it's an acceptable part of the job offer.
Is it free or will they garnish your wage to pay for it?
Do they have images of the rooms or apartments?
How far is it from the workplace?
Private or shared bedrooms?
How are assignments decided? If they're cagey about answering these questions, assume they'll keep part of your paycheck to share a bedroom with 5 strangers in a flop house 10 miles away. In terms of tax forms and job classifications, ask whether the position requires a W-2 or a 1099. Some designers will be considered independent contractors and fall under the 1099. But if the company sets your work hours and provides the space, equipment, and materials to do the job, you're not an independent contractor. And for 1099 jobs, understand that workman's compensation won't cover you if you get injured on the job. I hope this provides you with some tools to evaluate summer job postings and helps you decide what you want and what you won't accept from a summer work experience. Ask around among peers, colleagues, and mentors about the reputation of a company you're considering working for.
And if you can't afford to take a low-paying summer job in the arts, don't worry that a better paying gig in a parallel industry will set back your career, because it won't.
Thank you to the members of Costume Professionals for Wage Equity for the discussion that spawned this video.